You are looking at the Kingdome in Seattle, where the Seahawks, who have won 7 in a row and are headed for the playoffs, take on the Detroit Lions in an interconference matchup. The Seahawks have been winning behind an opportunistic defense led by this man, all-pro safety Kenny Easley.
64,000, and our game is underway. Zachary Dixon, a yard inside the goal line. Get ready at home, folks, as this is going to be a loud and a good one. Robbie Martin making the tackle, and Zachary Dixon return of 33 yards. Here's the starting lineup. Offensive backs and receivers for Seattle. David Craig, David Hughes, Dan Dornick, Steve Largent, and Darrell Turner, the rookie. The offensive line, Charlie Young is a fine tight end. Ron Essing, Reggie McKenzie, Blair Bush, Robert Pratt, and, of course, you see the rest of the line up there. It's complete to Steve Largent. Fumble! And it looks like the Lions, the ball is still bouncing around. The Lions had a shot at getting it. Let's wait and see who comes up with it at the bottom of that pile.
And it's interesting, Steve Largent came into this game 104 straight games with a reception. This makes 105. He had possession of the ball, and then he coughed it up, and then the scramble. We're waiting there, looking under the pile, and Detroit has it. Smile, Monty.
4th and 1. Hand off to Jones. He picks up enough yardage for the first down. You know, it was really amazing about that particular play because Monty Clark had sent in Eddie Murray to attempt a field goal, and Danielson, the veteran quarterback that he is, that showed a great deal of confidence. No, we want to go for it.
No doubt about it. Gary Danielson is having the best year of his career.
Three wide receivers in now for Detroit. 2nd and 10. Danielson back to pass. The ball is tipped up in the air. Terry Jackson comes up with the interception. Pass intended for Mark Nichols. Here's a perfect example of when things are going right for you, it just keeps rolling in that direction.
It certainly does. This bounces off the helmet of Terry Jackson. Mark Nichols is actually open. Danielson doesn't read him. The ball is thrown. Jackson doesn't see it. It hits his helmet and goes straight up in the air. And then an alert defensive back turns around and makes the reception. The former Giant now has 4 interceptions on the year. He's contributing, and again, takeaways. They continue. That's 58 on the year. They lead the NFL in interceptions with 33.
You know what that means? If Kansas City wins and Seattle wins, then Seattle will lead by a half game. Here's Randall Morris again. Up across the 35, up to about the 37, 38-yard line. Good run. Pickup of 9 yards. Here's another. This is a final. Shotgun formation, 3rd and 5. Ball at the 44. David Craig rolling to his right. Getting away from pressure. Here's where he's dangerous. Complete to Steve Largent. We talked about here's where he's dangerous. That's exactly right. Pickup of 16 yards. When Greg starts to move around, he really spots that open receiver.
And this is a planned play where he runs away from the rush. Largent's just so smooth. See him turn the defensive back around, and now he comes back. And he keeps coming back, and he separates from the defensive back, makes the catch along the sidelines, knows exactly where he is. First down.
Tackle there made by Bobby Watkins. It is enough for the first down. Steve Largent is a super wide receiver. 2nd and 13. Ball at the 31-yard line of Detroit. Here's Craig back to pass. Good protection. Complete to Largent again. Ken Fantetti in on the tackle, pickup of 22 yards. And it is amazing how Steve Largent just gets open, over and over again.
Take a look at him. Bobby Watkins giving him a lot of cushion. Largent reads that, comes back to the ball. First down.
The reason there's such a loud roar right now, we're told that Kansas City has just defeated Denver 16-13. So that means if Seattle wins this afternoon, then Seattle is in first place in the AFC's Western Division by 1 game.
By 1 full game.
2nd and goal, ball at the 3-yard line. Straight back to pass. Into the end zone. That's it. Steve Largent. Steve Largen's 4th reception here in the first quarter. 51 yards already in receptions, 1 touchdown.
He's trying to match it last week. We asked him about that. He said, I said, what can you do for an encore after catching 12 passes for 191 yards? He just laughed. He's doing it here early for the Seahawks in the first quarter.
Norm Johnson in to attempt the extra point conversion, and it's good.
You know, Craig threw this ball before Largent ever made his final move. Largent fakes inside, he fakes outside, he comes back to the ball. Bobby Watkins had no chance. This ball is perfectly thrown on the outside. He makes the reception in the end zone. And Watkins had no chance because of the body control and move. Take a look at it here. How would you like to be a defensive back and deal with this? Fake to the outside. Now, comes back. See him look inside. That throws the defensive back. He makes the catch.
That comes from being a precision pattern runner, and Steve Largent is one of the best. Seahawks are up. We'll be back. This is Alvin Hall at the 2-yard line. And he's got some room to go. And the man who kicked off, Norm Johnson, came up and made the tackle, bumping Alvin Hall out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. 1st and 10, ball at the 48-yard line of Detroit. Gary Danielson back to pass. Complete to James Jones. Jones down the far sideline, inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line. Tackle made by Kenny Easley. Play action pass. Complete to Jones out of the backfield. Oh, that's a good play.
Of course, that's what he does best, too, Jim. That's him. Came into the game with 63 receptions for over 500 yards. And I'll tell you what, he can do it. Of course, he's a little unhappy because Kenny Easley tried to tie a knot in his necktie. When you take a look at it here, and of course, defensive backs are usually a lot more courteous than that. But Kenny Easley is an emotional player. Take a look at it right here. How are you? Oh! Jones didn't like it. Could have been called a penalty.
Easley, of course, playing with a broken index finger, and he is a very, very good ball player, an all-pro caliber playing guy. 45-yard field goal attempt by Eddie Murray. And it's good. So Eddie Murray comes through with a 45-yard field goal, gets the Detroit Lions on the scoreboard. Seattle has some great wide receivers. Here's Craig back to pass. Into and out of the hands of Steve Largent, and you know he should have had that one. Here's Danielson back to pass. That's good protection. Pass is complete to Leonard Thompson. Thompson fighting off a couple of Seahawks at about the 30-yard line. That's enough for the first down. Tackle there made by Bruce Schultz.
Put up or shut up time for the NFC East team.
We've got a good battle here, 7-3. Inside handoff to Ken. Oh, he's going to score. 25-yard touchdown run by Ken Jenkins right up the middle, and I tell you, that puts the Seahawks in total shock. And look at Monty.
Monty, you can smile. It was a beautiful play. You got great blocking from your offensive line.
Eddie Murray to attempt the extra point conversion, and it's good. 1st and 10, ball at the 26-yard line of Seattle. Handoff right up the middle to David Hughes. Pick up of 14 yards. That's enough for the first down. Tackle made by Alvin Hall and William Graham. So Seattle's showing that they know how to run that little trap play right up the middle too.
They certainly do, and this run equals David Hughes' long run for the season, 14 yards. And certainly the Seahawks haven't had many long runs from the line of scrimmage outside of one late run by Lane. David Craig has the longest run from scrimmage for the Seattle Seahawks, 37 yards.
And it's a first down at the 40-yard line of Seattle. Play action pass. Craig back to do it. Throws. Complete to Dornan. Good move. Oh, my. He just faked Gary Cobb right out of the kingdom before he's finally tackled by Jimmy Williams. Picked up a 15 yards. Here's David Craig back to pass. Blitz is on, but he gets away from it. And it's complete. David Hughes. David Hughes knocked out of bounds at about the 19-yard line by Bruce McNorton.
And talking to Ken Ventetti yesterday, they play that 4-3 defense. Ventetti said one of the big problems being a middle linebacker in that scheme is that you have to cover both sides of the field. This time, Ventetti, number 57, you'll see him here, missed the tackle on Hughes, has a one-on-one coverage. He's late getting there. Take a look. Here comes Ventetti. Hughes cuts back inside him. Ventetti misses the tackle, and a big gainer for Seattle and Hughes.
Pickup of 25 yards on the play. 2nd and 5, ball at the 13. It's Craig back to pass. Going into the end zone for Larson.
Jim, you're a defensive back. I played defensive back for a bunch of years in the league. The hardest pattern for a cornerback to cover is that post, where the receiver comes down, breaks to the middle real hard, the quarterback pumps, and then he goes back to the corner. That's what Largent did.
Steve Largent's 2nd touchdown reception of the day. Norm Johnson in to attempt the extra point conversion. And it's good also.
If you are number 43, Al Latimer, you have to respect that post move, because if you don't, the quarterback will drill it in there. He does respect it, but he's late getting back. You see Largent breaking towards the corner. The ball is perfectly thrown. Latimer's too late. Largent gets the touchdown. Take another look at it right here. That's Largent inside. See him drive inside, make the move, and then it's just a trail situation by Latimer. Largent gets his 2nd touchdown, Jim.
Well, whenever you have someone who runs those precision patterns like Steve Largent, when you get that close, you're always going to be in trouble. And right now, Seattle's back on top. We'll be back. 2nd and 5, ball at the 35-yard line of Detroit. Here's Danielson with good protection. Complete to Mark Nichols. First player to make contact is number 45, Kenny Beasley. Mark Nichols just wide open. What a bullet of a pass by Danielson. Pickup of some 21 yards. Inside handoff to Jones as the flag down. Tackle made by John Harris, but there is a flag on the play. Handoff again to Jenkins. And the little man gets down to about the 20-yard line before he's tackled by Bruce Schultz and Greg Gaines.
You see number 45 Easley in there again. Easley went on to say, you know, if Detroit beats us, and that is a possibility, it will be because they beat us, not because we let down or beat ourselves.
1st and 10, ball at the 14. A handoff to Bussey, trying to get to the outside. Here comes Kenny Easley. He makes the tackle. Kenny Easley should make All-Pro this year. I tell you, he is one of the finest defensive backs in the National Football League. And I tell you, coming from UCLA, playing with a broken finger, great inspiration for that club.
Take a look at the right side of your screen. He beats Leonard Thompson's block. Leonard Thompson on the outside right there was supposed to block Kenny Easley. Easley read it so quickly, he was in the backfield. Take a look at it. No hesitation. And once he reads it, he flies past Leonard Thompson and makes the tackle in the backfield for a loss.
2nd and 11. All at the 16-yard line. Danielson in the shotgun formation. Good protection. Complete to Jones. And he's going to score. James Jones. And it's good for the Seattle Seahawks. 4 wide receivers. Craig the pass. And it is complete. Paul Skansky. Tackle there made by William Graham. Once again, in passing situations, pick up of 15 yards. The Seahawks using 4 wide receivers, and they're causing all kinds of confusion for the Lions. Largent in motion. Here's Craig back to pass. Complete to David Hughes out of the backfield. David Hughes knocked out of bounds by number 59, Jimmy Williams. Pickup of some 3 yards. Coming up at halftime, we will have an interview with Pete Rozelle, commissioner of the National Football League. As you see, the penalty infraction indicated there by referee Red Cashin. A minute line left to go in the first half. Craig rolling to his right. Has protection. Good blocking. Complete to Largent.
Craig shows you a little of the emotion, a little of the fire. Reminds me a little bit of Tommy Kramer at Minnesota, a guy who's really involved, emotional. Reggie McKenzie was talking about him as a Billy Kilmer type. But watch Largent. Goes way downfield. He knows his quarterback's on the move now, so what does he do? He separates, comes back, makes the slide for the reception. What concentration.
3rd and 10, ball at the 20-yard line. Craig in shotgun formation. Turner comes in motion. Good protection. And it's complete to Largent. Largent hit at the 5-yard line by William Graham and Alvin Hall. Pickup of some 15 yards. Tell you what.
And you know Largent scored twice on out moves. Here he fakes the out right there, breaks inside, the ball is delivered on the line. But see number 35, Alvin Hall, had he gotten a little better read, he might have had an interception. He was the man reading the quarterback, doubling both men. He didn't move, he didn't make the interception, so Seattle has an excellent scoring opportunity. They trail by 3 here at the Kingdome with 40 seconds remaining.
1st and goal, ball at the 4-yard line. There he goes to Darrell Turner. And it is good. David Craig. 3 touchdown passes so far this afternoon. That gives him a total of 27 on the year. That one to the rookie, Darrell Turner.
Take a look at it here. He just lofts it quickly. A quick takeoff. The defensive back is playing inside. And watch him. Makes the catch. 1-2. Looks good. And what an afternoon Bobby Watkins is having. That's a 3rd touchdown thrown against him. Take a look at him right here. He lets Turner get that quick outside. The ball is just perfectly thrown. Nice adjustment by Turner. Watkins at 5'10", can't get his hand on the ball. It's another touchdown, and Seattle takes the lead. They want that AFC West championship. Certainly the passing yards, and that's really Seattle has led in the passing. Detroit has done well on the ground. They got 100 yards, and that's twice as much as Seattle. Total yards, not that much difference. Time of possession, very, very close.
Danielson back to pass on 2nd and 8. Complete to Jeff Chadwick. Chadwick is down there by Terry Taylor. This is the first punt of the afternoon for Detroit, Michael Black. And he tries to get it off, and it is a bad kick.
And 22 interceptions to 8 in 1984.
Craig back to pass. Going down the middle for Charlie Young. Ball is in the air, intercepted by Alvin Hall. He has a group of blockers in front of him. Alvin Hall on the return of the interception. Knocked out of bounds at about the 40-yard line there by David Hughes. So we just got through talking about the defense not coming up with interceptions and fumble recoveries. There's an interception right there.
And they must have heard us up here. And a good return, a 25-yard return. Take a look at it right here. He tries to go down the middle, figures that they're doubling on the outside. He gets good block. You see Hughes get a block there. Here the ball bounces up in the air. Alvin Hall, good ball reaction, picks it off and gets a good return as he breaks the tackle right there. Turner can't hold on to him and returns it to give Detroit pretty good field position. 15 yards.
Largent is in motion. David Craig is back to pass. Complete to Largent. Beautiful running of the patterns. That tackle, first contact made by Jimmy Williams. Pickup of 10 yards. Oh, he is so nice. He's so nice to watch. He can have his own highlight film just in one particular game.
He is a highlight film, and why not 12 receptions for 191 yards last week. He's on his way to an encore this afternoon. He already has 2 touchdowns, but watch how he just finds the open spot and then stops. A lot of receivers would have continued on to the middle, but not Largent, who has that sixth sense of understanding what the spatial considerations are on the field. He finds the opening. You've said it 1,000 times. How do you teach it? He has the instinct of just knowing it.
8 receptions on the afternoon for Largent for 104 yards.
More than the entire Detroit Lion passing.
Here's the inside reverse to Largent. Enough yardage for the first down. Steve Largent can do it all. He catches passes. He has 2 touchdown receptions this afternoon so far. He runs an inside reverse. That time is good enough for 6 yards and a first down. 4 wide receivers for Seattle. Craig from the shotgun formation. Running away from the pressure. Pumping. There's a sack. Gary Cobb finally gets to David Craig. The Lions showing that they're going to hang right on in there. They may be down 21-17, but they have the ability, and Leonard Thompson is a man. They may be out of the playoffs, but Leonard Thompson is a man who can really break the long one for them.
No doubt about it, and you hear the crowd in the background, always a factor here in Seattle. Reminds me of the early 70s with the Pittsburgh Steelers when I was there, when the place became electrified, pulsating. That's the way it is here in Seattle, as they hope they have a beginning of a dynasty.
3 wide receivers in now for the Lions. Danielson from shotgun. The inside pitch to Jones. He gets nowhere. David Craig. The quick slip pass out to Randall Morris. Morris twisting, spinning, and turning. Pickup of 8 yards. Randall Morris, 6 feet, 190 pounds from Tennessee. A rookie doing a good job.
Obviously, his ankle injury is okay. He's been out for a few weeks with an ankle injury. Watch his move right there. Anybody will tell you as a defensive back, William Graham was the man 33 who missed the tackle, that you have to square up, get ready, and be on balance to make a tackle. William Graham didn't do it.
A toss back. Here's a run pass by Randall Morris. He looks downfield. Randall Morris was looking for Darrell Turner, but Alvin Hall had him covered perfectly from the shotgun. David Craig. The blitz is on. Good protection. Complete to Luck. Chris Pascal.
I could argue that San Francisco may be the premier team in the NFL at this moment, but certainly the Hawks are right up in that elite group.
There is always something to play for. In this game, there's something to play for both teams. The Seahawks have more at stake. The playoffs, a home field advantage. David Craig, shotgun formation. 3rd and 13. He's going deep again for Turner. 6.
Darrell Turner was averaging 20 yards per catch coming into this. At Michigan State, he averaged over 20 yards a catch. He is a deep threat. He's taken the pressure off Steve Largent. He has opened up the Seattle offense. What a throw by Dave Craig. Oh.
Bruce McNorton was trying to cover Darrell Turner then. Here's the extra point conversion by Norm Johnson, and it is good.
Jim, I want to take a look at that again from the end zone. Darrell Turner is one of those guys that has a deceiving speed. He has that long stride, but when he gets next to you as a defensive back, he just pulls away. And he's 6'3", so he has a lot of reach. Take a look at it right here. The ball is thrown beautifully over the top. What hands and concentration to catch that over the outside shoulder, especially for a rookie. Do you think Dave Craig isn't happy? Take a look at it after he throws the ball. He gets bounced around a little bit, but he's looking, and then what does he do? Yeah!
That shows the great camaraderie on this team. That's one of the reasons why this team is so successful, because they congratulate each other. They are happy for one another. David Craig's 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon, and the Seattle Seahawks are on top of Detroit, 28-17. That's Jones in motion. Danielson back to pass. Across the middle. Tip in the air, and it's picked off. An interception by Kenny Easley.
And a tip ball again. Kenny Easley now has 9 interceptions on the year. He leads the NFL in that category. He came in tied with his teammate, Dave Brown, with 8. But watch this again. Kenny Easley always around the ball, always hustling. We mentioned the defense that makes things happen. Watch the pressure here. He has to unload it a little bit early. The ball is tipped right there. Then Easley comes up with the interception. It looked like number 53, Keith Butler, came up with the tip. Leonard Thompson was the man he was looking for. He's cutting over the middle. The linebacker gets his hand up, number 53. It's tipped, and then Easley is right there for number 9 interception.
It's really amazing. A broken index finger comes up with an interception.
And there's Kenny Easley along the sideline. Things going so well. You see his right hand. He's already got that thumb. But you know, Jim, it was interesting when we talked to him yesterday. You were with Kenny Easley when his career started with the Seahawks.
I sat with him the morning of the draft a few years ago. He picked up the phone. Seattle was on the other line. He said, you know, I'm really kind of excited about going to Seattle. But he really wasn't. He had a little frown on his face. And I looked at him. I said, hey, listen, buddy, take it. You're #1 draft choice. Thousands of young guys around the country would love to be in your shoes. Go up there and enjoy that experience. He was frowning then, but you can believe he's not smiling now, but he's smiling about this particular year in the last couple of years.
He is in pain as they're checking his shoulder, but you just mentioned that we have another man down on the field, but Kenny Easley certainly, Jim, has enjoyed his stay here as we have another player down on the field.
When I was sitting there with Easley on draft day a few years ago when he came out of UCLA, and he just kind of sat there, and he really wasn't enthused about coming to the Seahawks. He'd sent out a couple of letters to different teams, the Seahawks being one that he told them, don't draft me. He was just trying to find out what he could do out in the open market. But it was amazing. You know, we sat there and we looked. I said, hey, listen, my friend, you've worked too hard and too long. Take advantage of this opportunity. And, you know, I felt so good when we saw him the other day, and things have really turned around for him, and now he's in the contract negotiations, and he deserves it. He deserves anything he gets. He's 5 of 7 from this distance. Bangs the net behind the goalpost, and it is good. Norm Johnson, 37-yard field goal. And the Seahawks increase their lead. Chuck Knox with the same look on his face as Mark Nichols in motion. From the shotgun, here's Danielson. Flag is down.
No, Jeff.
Jeff Bryant in to make the quarterback sack, but there is a flag on the play.
He got off too early, definitely. Maybe he's thinking about that bet he has with Jacob Green. Coming into the game, Green had 13 sacks, Jeff Bryant 11.5. They have something going where the guy who comes away with most sacks has to buy.
Offside, number 77 on the defense, still 3rd down.
Loses the bet to the other guy, and Jeff Bryant trying to get a little bit of edge. He was off too soon, made the sack, but offside.
Those are always good ways of encouraging competition and increasing your performance out on the field, just to have a nice little friendly wager with a teammate.
But they wouldn't tell us what was on the line. They wouldn't tell us what the bet was.
I don't blame them for not telling.
The commissioner's here.
8:15 left to go in the ball game. Danielson from the shotgun formation again. That's Chadwick in motion, going back the other way. Here comes Bryant. Danielson dancing around. Jeff Bryant just got back the sack that he lost on the last play. A loss of 11 yards.
You know, Jim, that's the first sack of the afternoon for a team that was 3rd in the NFL, coming in with 50 sacks behind Washington's 55 and Chicago's 51. They haven't put that much pressure on Danielson this afternoon.
Mike Black to punt for Detroit. Paul Skansky at his own 30-yard line to receive for Seattle. Low snap, and Black starts to run it out. The Seahawks have the ball at their 19-yard line of Detroit. As David Hughes, pickup of 8 yards.
You know, Jim, we talked about it at the top of the show. Would the Lions be able to deal with the fire, the energy of the Seattle Seahawks? Would they self-destruct? They've done a little bit of both. now here in the fourth quarter.
David Hughes. Craig back to pass. Touchdown. The backup tight end on the receiving end of that touchdown pass from David Craig. And once again, he is perfect. And a new quarterback now. Gary Danielson is out. John Witkowski is in for the Detroit Lions. Witkowski rolling out. Looking for a receiver. Throws. Complete to Ron Rubik.
You know what's amazing about Witkowski? Excuse me. He's a rookie from Columbia, set every record in the Ivy League last year.
A move on the part of Monty Park. Here comes the blitz. They take it, but they will draw it back. Witkowski throwing downfield. Complete to Leonard Thompson. Tackle there made by Kenny Easley, and Easley really hurt himself in. Kenny Easley has walked off the field on his own power. I doubt very seriously if he returns anymore this afternoon.
Someone ought to strap him to the bench.
First and 10 for Detroit. Witkowski from the shotgun. Dumps it out to Ken Jenkins. Running room for the little man.
Oh.
You heard that. You heard that blow delivered by John Harris. 4:50 left to go. Inside fake with a handoff. Witkowski, he's in trouble. Trouble in the form of number 77, Jeff Bryant, who runs in out of bounds. Monty said yesterday he's not gonna worry about that. But he has to worry about this situation now. A second sack by Jeff Bryant.
And you know what that does, Jim? That gives Bryant 13.5 sacks, a half a sack more than Jacob Green. Green may have to pay up on this bet yet. Take a look at it. What speed Bryant has. Of course, when you draft a guy in number 1 draft, as you expect him to have this kind of speed and talent, certainly Jeff Bryant has it.
Witkowski from the shotgun again. The pressure is on. It is ruled incomplete. Pass intended for Robbie Martin.
And big Jacob Green was breathing down Witkowski's neck on that play. He got it off well, though.
Witkowski at quarterback for Detroit. In a shotgun formation. He better look out. Randy Edwards coming in and making the sack for Seattle. A minute 40 left to go in the ball game. There's another one. Dino Mangiero. They're really going to tee off on him now.
Oh, he has no chance. But I mean, when Kurt Warner was hurt, when Paul Johns was out, what did he say to the team? He said, you know what? Kurt Warner doesn't make tackles as a defense does. He doesn't play special teams, so you guys shouldn't let down.
So that was the final play of the ball game. The players congratulating each other. Chuck Knox has done it again. He is a true winner. And he has his Seahawks in the playoffs for the second consecutive year, as a crowd of more than 64,000, John, are just ecstatic about what's happened today.